Hello, I'm Robert Kelly, and welcome to another Record All Monsters extended preview, or I guess since it's over, extended look at KONG-ZILLA-THON with Podcasters Assemble. Here's a theme song. Okay, so today what I've got here for you, I was going to do a full quick look at Godzilla vs. Kong, but I need a quick break just for this week. I already have the next full episode pretty much locked and loaded, ready to go, and I'm working on the full episodes. I do those well in advance, and the stuff in between I try and keep more current. So what you are going to hear in a second, if you remember, a few weeks ago, like 8 weeks ago maybe, I started participating in a roundtable called KONG-ZILLA-THON on the podcast Podcasters Assemble, and I really enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun, and we talked about a lot of old school Godzilla and Kong movies there, and in the lead up to Godzilla vs. Kong back at the end of March. So this is from right after one of my many viewings of Godzilla vs. Kong. I tried to make sure that I got it to them on time because I had missed a few deadlines, but they were very gracious. So I'm going to play a quick ad because this does meet my 10-minute rule. If something's under 10 minutes, I don't put an ad on it. And this is a little over 10 minutes. So we'll play an ad right now, and then we'll get into that recording. And after that, I'll come back and give y'all a little bit of a rundown on what's coming up in the next few weeks. Enjoy!
Hello, I'm Robert Kelly, host of Record All Monsters, and this is an ad for Anchor. That's right, an ad for Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. I was super intimidated to start this podcast until I heard about Anchor, and there are a number of things that made me feel more at ease to begin. First of all, it's free. They have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. They distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on multiple platforms, including whatever one you're listening to. And you can make money from your podcast easily with no minimum listenership. All you do is enter your information, Anchor takes care of the rest. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. This is the mandatory call for action that I have to read out now, but it's true. You can download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. I've been Robert Kelly, host of Record All Monsters, and this has been an ad for Anchor.
Hello, I'm Robert Kelly, host and writer of Record All Monsters, and we are here to talk about Godzilla vs. Kong. So a lot of times when I'm here, I feel like my role is to give context, and I feel like we've been living in the context of Godzilla vs. Kong over the past, since 2014 when Godzilla came out. And we have been building to this. So I'm not entirely sure what there is for me specifically to say, besides I really enjoyed this movie. It was a lot of fun in the ways you expect something like this to be. It's a very good update of the kind of Showa-era kaiju film that I'm such a big fan of. I guess what I can give context for is some of the weirder references that I don't know if anyone else will have picked up on. For example, the main bad guy, played by Damian Bashir, is very reminiscent of Doctor Who from 1967's King Kong Escapes, where there's a lot going on, but part of it is that Doctor Who is trying to dig element X out of Antarctica, and he kidnaps King Kong to do it. So that was, whatever the element or fuel source they're looking for in this movie, that was very reminiscent of that. Of course, in the original King Kong versus Godzilla, pretty much everyone talked about King Kong being carried around by balloons, and there's a visual reference to that with the giant net they bring him to Antarctica and the Hollow Earth in. Lots of little references. Denham University is the university that Alexander Skarsgård's character works at. Sublevel 33, that's the year King Kong originally came out. There's just a lot of fun little references throughout this movie. I was really hoping when they jump-started Kong's heart that he would have electrical powers when he came back. I love the name drop they gave for Mechagodzilla. That was perfectly done. It was so stupid and wonderful. And Mechagodzilla's name is always dropped like that in these movies. Like, in the original Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, they say, you could even call it a Mechagodzilla. It's just always done that way. So having, what's his name, say, no, it's a Mechagodzilla. Having him say that it's Mechagodzilla instead of Robot Godzilla. That was fun, and it fit with the whole thing. This just was tone-wise pitch perfect for what it needed to be. I've watched it 4 times now, twice in the theater or at the drive-in and twice on HBO Max, and I am just thrilled with it every time. Whatever the bat monsters are in the Hollow Earth, in Kong's kingly chamber, his regal chamber. They reminded me a lot of Gappa from 1967's Gappa the Triphibian Monster. But I think that's supposed to be the Kamasots thing from the graphic novel I didn't read that takes place in between these. I haven't talked much about Godzilla. Godzilla is my boy, and Godzilla does win the fight. He stops Kong's heart. And, yeah, pretty conclusive evidence that Godzilla won the fight. I feel like. I'm sorry, Stephen White. Kong is the heart of this film. He's the protagonist of it, but Godzilla wins. And the Mechagodzilla reveal and the team up doesn't feel as forced as something like Batman v Superman. We've all heard the Mothra equals Martha jokes. They're not funny. I'm sorry, they're just like, ever since this movie was announced, I've been hearing them. And everyone's sent me that picture. And, I'm sorry, I've seen it too many times. But this movie was great. I recommend it highly. Trying to think of other things. What's that weird little frog guy? With he had Godzilla style spines on his back. Is that Monster vs. Minya? Is that Monster vs. Manila? Hoo-hoo. No, probably not. Just a cool, weird little frog dude. And I love him. I loved seeing all these weird monsters in the Hollow Earth. The actress playing Gia was very good. Her name is Kaylee Hottle, from what I'm seeing here. And she's actually deaf. And she's very good in this movie. And she does a great job. All the actors did a great job. I keep saying it. I was really happy with this movie. It was nice to see Ronnie Chang. Ronnie Chang is hilarious. Find his stand-up. His stand-up is so good. It's on Netflix somewhere, and it is called... Hold on. I'm sorry for all the gaps. I just remembered I had to do this. Asian Comedian Destroys America. It's on Netflix. It's wonderful. Look it up. Everyone's just terrific in this. Brian Tyree Henry, I think, was probably everyone's favorite character just because we're all podcasters. Ren Sarazawa was an interesting character. I wish they'd done more with him. My wife made the wonderful joke that maybe Dad will love me if I become Godzilla. And it's... yeah. Yeah. But this was a great movie, and I'm very happy with it. And I know I've just said that in 5 different ways over the past 7 minutes. But it's true. I really enjoyed this, and I recommend it highly. And Godzilla 1, I love that they did a reference to the tree with the axe blade. I was really hoping that Kong was going to develop electrical powers. That would have been very fun. They had the spot to do it in. Ugh! They could have done it. They could have did it. And they didn't did it. They didn't do it. I guess that's all from me. If you have liked anything I've had to say over the course of this, come and check out Record All Monsters. We just put out an episode about Gorgo, where we talk about the legacy of children in giant monster movies. It was recorded before I saw Godzilla vs. Kong. Otherwise, I would have brought Gia up, because she's wonderful. But it's fun. It's fun. You'll have fun. And hopefully you'll learn something that you didn't know. And we talk about all kinds of giant monster movies. Is a history, a narrative history. I've had a lot of fun doing this. I especially want to thank the guys over at I've had a lot of fun doing this. I especially want to thank the guys. Oh geez, I'm blanking on everything. I want to thank the guys at Podcasters Assemble and the We Can Make This Work Probably Network. It's been a lot of fun just corresponding with you all, getting this set up. You've done a killer job editing. Every episode has been a blast to hear. I'm very sorry for any issues my audio has given, being late on deadlines or whatever. you guys have done a great job with this, and I'm really happy that I got to participate. So, thank you so much. I'll sign off with my normal remember that monsters are your friends, and also podcasters, assemble. So, as you could see, that was pretty much just raw audio of my thoughts after seeing the movie a few times, four times, I said. And, they really did a great job editing throughout the course of the whole thing. I wanted to thank specifically Tyler Thornton, who invited me initially to do that, and I wanted to thank Eric Slater, who did the editing and who I wound up communicating with most of the time. Both great guys. I had a lot of fun working on that. They're currently doing another season of Podcasters Assemble on the Mortal Kombat movies, if you want to check those out. I'm not participating in that one, but I've been listening, and it's fun. It's a fun time. So, next week we're gonna have another full episode on Mothra vs. Godzilla with returning guests John Margheim and Austin Forbear Douglas Ford. We had a lot of fun doing that one. And then the week after that, I think we have a monster mailbag. Courtney knows. She'll tell me before then. And then the week after that, we have John LeMay coming back to talk about Ghidra, the three-headed monster. So, there's bright stuff in the future. The rest of the season is close to done for the main episodes. And we have a few surprises in store as well. So, after Ghidra, we're going to look at Frankenstein Conquers the World, and Gamera, and Invasion of Astro Monster, The Magic Serpent. Probably do a quick look at the Daimajin films, because a listener, Ben, who's written us some emails before, Ben, hooked me up with some links to where I can find those films online. And then also the new Blu-ray set from Arrow's coming out. Probably won't get that in time for this. So Ben's links coming through in the clutch. Thanks. Then after we do Magic Serpent, it's just a couple more movies. Gamera vs. Barugon and War of the Gargantuas. So yeah, the end of this season's in sight, and there will be a second season. I've already started writing it. And yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go to sleep for like 100 years right now. Okay, so we'll see y'all next week, and remember, between now and then, that monsters are your friends.